Hello everyone, this is Altar, and this segment is here to let you know that after about a year of producing content for Offworld Trading Company, Mohawk Games contracted me out to do some QA consulting work for them. This video was made during the time that contract was active. Thank you for listening. Please enjoy the video. Hello everyone, and welcome to game number 1 in our Best of 5 series between PB Head and Year End. These are our two finalists. Final match of our release tournament of Offworld Trading Company, which is starting with very expensive power. And then silicon and glass. This could create an interesting little opening opportunity here.
Yeah, it certainly gives options. I mean, it's a generous map. No question about that. I'm sure there'll be no complaints.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm not surprised to see that. We do have, unfortunately, in my opinion, the new voices this game. Wow, PB Head just a little faster on the draw there. Does manage to get that medium tile away from Year End. This is all very interesting. So I really like Year End's found location. I really, really do. And the fact that he's already HQ level 2 should scream why. I really, really like it.
Yep.
Oh man, it was so great smashing all that silicon. You can see he basically knocked the price from 40 to 20 almost instantly. And this very easily should let him, at this HQ level, transition into glass furnaces. Exactly what I would expect to see out of him. And we're seeing glass kiln coming out now. This is a fantastic start.
It is. Excellent start. A shame he didn't manage to pick up that second quarry. But there we go. I suppose you can't have everything. He's really... I mean, PB's still waiting for his upgrade. So, like you said, excellent start. He's got a nice geothermal next to his base as well. It's looking strong. Looking very strong.
Absolutely looking very strong. I do like this mutiny out of PB Head, just using that quick access to the black market. Year End cannot respond to this yet. 20 seconds left until his black market opens. This just gives PB maybe a little bit extra boost that he needs to try and keep up with Year End. But I gotta say, Year End's found was so fantastic that PB is still very, very far behind, even as this mutiny is running its course.
Yeah, well, I don't think Year End will mind too much losing. I mean, obviously it's quite inconvenient losing that high carbon, but because he's into the glass is where the money is.
Absolutely. That glass, fantastic amounts of cash from it. It's actually just auto-selling at 50 glass right now instead of 40, which is interesting. Grabs Power Surge. Nice little freeze onto those water pumps PB was trying to use for his own cash.
Yeah, that'll slow PB down a little bit. I mean, they were giving him good money, those water pumps. But still doesn't compare to their glass profits. And here we go, HQ level 3.
Absolutely.
What's he going to? Yeah, he's taking his own water there. I expect to see maybe some food out of him as well.
Yeah, food would not be a surprise. Food, you know, starting at a pretty standard price, just keeps getting more expensive. PB has moved into some himself, though, so we'll just have to see how this pans out for Year End.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be so good for PB because he hasn't got the water coming in at the moment. That freeze down onto PB's water has really slowed him down. It's, I mean, cruel water at $60. Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want to make sure that he has some source of water secured. Now, thing is, PB has an option here. He has reached the upgrade if he needs it, PB. Can hit that button if he wants to. Other option is exactly what he just did. I was going to just say this. PB can mutiny away Year End's water. Now Year End has a choice. Does he keep attacking PB's water? Does he take his own water back? But he can't do both. So PB's kind of guaranteed a little water income for himself right now.
Yeah, well, PB's going to need it to run his farms. Not that they're going to be massively profitable. But Year End there just switches his farms off, which, yeah, it's understandable.
And yeah, geothermal auction, you're exactly right. I do want to comment on the farms. Well, the farms aren't profitable at the moment, but the water certainly is. $82 a piece. And that is not being held up by Year End right now. That is water's actual price.
Yeah.
So, pretty fantastic source of income for PB at the moment. We'll have to see if what Year End can do about it.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe put another freeze down on it. That would be a good move.
Yeah, I think the simple freeze could make a lot of sense. It's such an awkward decision to have to make when suddenly your opponent has two sources and you can't attack both of them simultaneously. Mutinies already getting a bit expensive this game. 4.5 thousand for Year End, 7,000 for PB. Still a whole HQ behind though.
Yeah, let's see. Year End's just quite happily, I'll just wait a minute. And then he's a couple of waters, which is a nice move. Maybe slightly overcommitted to water, but if he wants to move into reactors as well as just food, I think he's going to need those. And 2 geotherms. That's interesting.
I'm okay with all this so far, I think. I mean, he's already got glass. The glass guarantees his push to HU5, no problem. He just wants to make sure he makes money off the food, make money off the water. And then these geotherms, I mean, power up at 200 apiece already. His opponent has 1 geo down.
I think probably on reflection it is a good move. But he's going to have to spend a lot of money on the... a lot of money for carbon. And carbon is expensive, 62, although it's dropping off slightly, which I'm sure PB would like to see.
Aluminum really being played with right now. I'm not sure who's been getting the better end of these deals, but PB is sitting on a huge amount of cash. You can see the spike of aluminum right here. It was, I think, hanging out like around 10, and then spikes way up to close to 50, back down to 1, and now it's back up to 46. And actually moving up with this shortage coming. Always interesting to see what happens when you've got scavenger on scavenger and a shortage pops up.
Yeah. That's PB taken. Yeah, he lost it, then he took it back again. Which, considering the price of carbon, yes, generally doing okay.
Yeah, carbon pretty strong after all these upgrades, and of course both players are going to want a lot of it to hit HQ5.
PB's just selling his down at the moment.
Well, both of
them
are. Yeah. I mean, they're just trying to take advantage of this price while it is acceptable. One of them's going to stop first, though, and start stockpiling over to 5, I would expect, as this price keeps dropping and dropping and dropping.
Yeah. Sold. Urand has got a nice lot of water in stock. Has he just bought up that water to punish PB? I think he has.
Yeah, that was very interesting interaction. I think Urand actually punished himself, though, is what ended up happening. So PB was sitting on a stockpile, if I read everything correctly. PB had a stockpile of about 300 to 400 water, and then Urand bought several hundred water, like 400, 300 to 400 himself. Then PB sold down his stockpile.
I see. I missed that bit.
And it's just, it wasn't a huge amount that it changed the price, but the prices have been flying around so much, both these players trying to compete with each other in this market. And so suddenly these freezes onto these water pumps look very, very awkward indeed, with water at only about $40 a piece.
Yeah, they're trying to con each other, saying this market's a little bit better than it actually is. And maybe Urand just came off slightly worse on that one.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point, you're in a situation where PB Head has a massive advantage in terms of cash. He's already bought 2 of Urand's stock. I don't think he's actually close to ending the game just now, but he is certainly a threat that Urand is suddenly having to respond to, and I think this all just comes from playing the market with that aluminum short and then the water nonsense that's been happening.
Yeah, he's taken some cash out of the market there, and he's gone into food, though. I do wonder if he hasn't overcommitted to food slightly.
Yes, I'm concerned about that as well. You can see water just continues to rise in price. Neither of these players letting each other have access to it. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that we've had extra goon squads go on to geotherms this game instead of water pumps. Definitely something that could have been considered. And so both players HQ5, but PB has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tiles effectively disabled right now, doing absolutely nothing, and none of the rest of them are particularly valuable either.
No, he has moved a couple into aluminium, which is good, and he is sitting on a network virus, which I'm surprised he hasn't used just yet. Given the price of water and the fact that Urand's frozen out.
Well, there you go, you got your wish. Right on top of those reactors.
Yeah, they're only losing $36, $40 each.
Yeah. And that's just going to keep rising for the moment, I would imagine. Urand's still completely frozen out of water, and he just built farms. I'm a little concerned about this decision, to say the least.
Yeah, it is. The way that they're playing with water as well, it is crazy. But then given the price of water, it's given the price of food, it's unsurprising that they want to try and push on through.
Do it. More network viruses. Oh, those ones landed on electronics. That's maybe not the... I suppose what this is this was, I want to say it's checking for a hologram, but you should know there is no hologram down.
Yeah, that's
because
it.
It hasn't been purchased. So I'm a little concerned about this network virus right here. I don't think that was the best idea. Might be concerned that PB actually has a water stockpile, even though PB's just been auto-selling it as it's been coming in.
Yeah, I think after all the shenanigans earlier, nobody's sure exactly who has got what in stock and whether that is actually the true price of the markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players just very nervous about what's been happening this game, not completely understanding what's going on. All that said, PB, he's the one who stops getting his water frozen first. And suddenly the game's just over.
That
just
was
like that.
quick.
Just suddenly ends. Just never mind. Game's over. Forget it.
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
I kind of was like, is this really? Yeah, okay, no, this is really happening. No, I don't have time to talk about it before it actually happens, as it turns out. That was ridiculous.
It certainly was. But
Scavengers, guys.
Well, PB is $6,000 a second. That can't be right.
No, it's not. Don't worry about that.
No.
That's just, the auto cell number never understands trucks coming in correctly, so it'll interpret a truck as coming in, I think, is like 20 resources a second for that truck or something like that.
Oh, I see.
And then it drops to nothing again because there's no truck coming in. It's just very awkward and confusing. But yeah, just ignore that little bit right there. So, game number 1 to PB.
Well done, PB.
That was just pure resource manipulation to get himself into the lead, and then constant freezes on water while securing a secondary source, like 5 water tiles. How often is this actually recommended in a game? But I think it wins it for PB this time.
Oh, good lord, yes. Definitely. It's not recommended at all, but it's worked for him beautifully. It's not the first time we've seen this in a final, I don't think.
No, not at all. Finals are always particularly interesting, especially when you've got scavenger on scavenger, just lots of black market flying everywhere, influencing the game, lots of just mind games surrounding the shortages and surpluses that are going on. It's always fun to see. Yeah, and we can just glance at this screen right now. Hey, look, everybody bought and sold more water than everything else. Go figure. Who could have guessed, right? Oh, man. Ridiculous.
Biggest money maker, biggest money sink.
Yep. That's just silly. That said, let's hop on out of here. I'm sure these players are going to be eager to get into game number 2.
Yeah.
Right, hello everyone, and welcome to game number 2 in our best of 5 series between Year End and PB Head. PB Head taking game number 1, which was quite interesting and a rather sudden conclusion. Just on the back of water. Nobody let anybody have water. Everybody still had to consume water, so that price went insane. PB Head was the one to rake in all the cash. Doubt we're going to have the same thing happen in this game. I'm only really seeing one great scavenger location, although there is another that could potentially work.
There's a couple of nice tiles here. There we go. Robots.
Year End takes it first on the strong carbon, PB Head second as robot. You're exactly right.
Yeah, it's always appealing to take those double tiles.
Yeah, they're very, very useful. I like them as robotic when you can kind of use them this way. Just a little aluminum, because that's all you need really as a robot. Just a little aluminum, and then it's a nice supplement for your iron as well. That's probably going to work out quite well for PB. Can't decide what to do with this 6th tile. I like that choice though. Taking the medium silicon. This is something I want to point out, is we've got warehouses at the colony. That is going to be driving up glass price consistently, and only 3 silicon tiles, no underground nukes, thankfully. Otherwise, I imagine we wouldn't have any silicon being produced this game.
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's a good start from PB. The only slight worry I've got is electronics are very expensive.
Electronics are very expensive at the moment, I'll give you that. On the other hand, with warehouses on the board, that means glass is just going to keep going up in price. And so it'll be interesting to see how all of that pans out, because at this point already, Uran's going to have to pay more in glass than PB Head is in electronics for his upgrades.
Yeah, he will. He's going to have some issues, I think, especially if PB gets into the glass market or just stops him getting into it by taking the silicon.
Even just doing what he is now, holding on to that 60 glass, trying to keep that price high. Very nice thing to do when there are warehouses, especially, as all that money is effectively just sitting around making him more money, even while all of his stuff is frozen by year-end.
Yeah, it's a good move by PB. I like him going robotic. That's a good counter, especially because he controls silicon. That's nice. I like that. Yeran's going to have an uphill battle, I think. Unless, of course, PB keeps selling down the silicon.
Yeah, selling down the silicon is going to make it pretty easy to get into that market.
Yeah, but I would suspect the second that Uran gets into glass furnaces, the price of silicon is suddenly going to double or triple or quadruple overnight.
You know, I expect that might actually happen too, as it turns out. For now, though, both players, HQ level 3, that was almost simultaneous that they hit it, which means PB, he's not looking quite as good as he might like. You like to stay ahead in upgrades as a robotic, but if there's anybody that can keep up with you, it's definitely going to be a scavenger.
Yeah, I think so long as they're going simultaneously or following each other, as long as there's no big gaps, nobody gets left behind or takes the lead in the upgrades, then it's going to be okay. There's not going to be massive issues there. But,
now, I'm a little nervous for PB at the moment because he's got electronics factories down, which is a sensible thing to do, securing the upgrade resource, but he doesn't have a source of carbon just yet, and that leaves Yerand a bit free to play around with the price whenever he would like to and make those electronics a difficult proposition.
Yeah, but I think it evens out though, with PB being in the silicon and Yerand's controlling the carbon. But if Yerand can stash away some silicon now while it's cheap, then at least he can get his upgrade glass. He's got a chance of making upgrade glass at a reasonable cost.
Yeah, and glass isn't too insane just yet. Just 145 on that glass. That's still tolerable for Yerand, although I worry with his electrolysis reactors only combined pushing about 120 a second or so.
It's going to be tough for him to make some profit in other areas so he can buy in the glass.
Yeah, fantastic job getting down this geotherm with adrenaline boosts, I think. You can see powers actually still was rising in price for a moment there. With this, yeah, it's still going up with an adrenaline boosted geotherm on the board for year end. That's very, very nice to see. PB Head not in too much power just yet, still working on finishing his geothermal plant.
Yeah, he's about 40% done on his plant there, so I don't think he's got it protected either.
No, he definitely doesn't. I'm honestly a bit surprised Yerand hasn't hit this yet, as he should know 100% that that is not goon squatted. It's a fantastic place to drop dynamite, even before the geothermal plant finishes. You don't waste much construction time, but you do waste a lot of resources.
PB there straight into buying some iron, which is another good move. That should make him some good cash, but Yerand really desperately needs to drop that dynamite straight onto that geothermal plant. That really would put a spanner in the works.
Yeah, definitely would love to see that happen to PB here. Yerand did buy up a significant amount of silicon, but only has the one glass kiln down right now. Bit of a concern, no adjacency bonuses, no increases to efficiency there. Going to be a bit problematic, and the EMP actually lands on the solar panel. That makes me wonder if Yerand even spotted the geotherm at this point in the game.
I don't think he did, otherwise well, it's too late now, he missed his opportunity, but it would have been, well, there's still no goon squad, but then Yerand doesn't really know that, so Yerand's probably quite happy. He's made some money in his power, so...
Well, Yerand found the goon. That does mean that if he would like to get aggressive with dynamite, that opportunity is still available to him. Of course, he could also simply choose to adrenaline boost his own geotherm once again, try and knock that power price down before PB can do the same.
Yeah, given the price of steel's reasonably high, not massively high, but it would be inconvenient and annoying for PB to have to redo his redo his geo. So dynamite it, I'd say.
I expect this to be a solar panel, and indeed it is. I'll accept it. 5,000 debt in order to build a solar panel seems like a reasonable proposition to me this game.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And he's Yaran moved into the second glass kiln there, so he should be alright for a little bit. Roughly, yeah, they're profitable.
They are profitable. Glass just got that expensive, although things are starting to creep up in price, and I'm a little concerned that Yaran never made a move to secure silicon himself. This is long-term. Going to end up putting, once again, a lot of cash in PB's pockets.
Exactly right. You've got to compete in that market because, I mean, admittedly, Yaran could have his choice of the life support, but if you can be in the market with the other guy as well, then at least you're sharing the profits rather than just let them all go one way.
Yeah, potentially a concern there. We did see another adrenaline boost on the geotherm by Yaran. That's what he's going to go with this time. Let's see. Still behind in cash at this point, though.
It's diminishing returns, though, isn't it? Keep hitting that geotherm.
I think that's the last adrenaline boost we're going to see unless power spikes in a pretty silly way if PB Head rotates around these solar panels later in the game.
Yeah, that's it. Potential. Oh, no, Pleasure Dome's no good.
Yeah, Pleasure Dome, not expecting to be too solid this game. There is a robotic and a scavenger. No expansives, anything like that, even with a great location for it.
Yeah.
Would be a questionable building, I'd say. And PB, he gets another silicon tile.
He's moved well. The price of silicon is ridiculous for a primary resource. It's very profitable.
I think this could really give PB access to his late game plan here. Off-world markets are atrociously bad. Awful, awful, awful. But the hacker array can still definitely potentially get something done. We've seen both these players don't shy away from that building. Yaran actually already has one down.
He does.
I'm really curious. I'd love to see this plan come to fruition from PB if he could use this silicon, establish this monopoly, and then just abuse glass and electronics to actually finish up the game.
Yeah. Oh. And these new voices are odd.
Odd is indeed one word for them.
I was being polite.
I feel no need to do such things.
No.
And so I'm going to say, bring back text-to-speech. It's good.
Yeah.
It's better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
At least give us a legacy option. Just be like, this is the downside. This is the downside to early access. Do people get attached to the game as it was? They liked it.
It was good.
Exactly.
I'm really going to miss Soren telling me that my stock's getting sold as well.
See, that was actually one of the very few where I was like, this is just bad. But
I thought that was classy.
classy. All right. That's not the word I would go for, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, all right. We're supposed to be talking about the game fuel shortage here for Yaran.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
I don't know. I'm a little bit worried that PB's pretty far ahead. He's got a big wad of cash.
Yeah, and Yaran's having trouble deciding between fuel and chemical shortages right now. He wanted to get these chem refineries up. He was doing a chem short. I think he might have canceled that, moved into a fuel short, and then canceled that and moved back into a chem short.
Oh, good lord, you can't be doing that.
No, gotta be a little bit more decisive in these games. As PB is doing now, 70% of the cash he needs to finish off Yaran, he says, well, that's enough to go ahead and get started.
Yep. That's putting pressure on Yaran. Maybe going to try and force him to sell out of some of his stockpiles. I think he's had to sell out of some of his chems to defend himself.
Yeah, and I think he might have actually canceled the short once again on top of that.
Well, I don't think he had much choice.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know, Yaran. He can buy one stock. No, that's PB.
Yeah, PB can get one stock. Can he get the other, though? I think he's going to pull it off. He needs a lot, 30,000 in order to finish this up. But Yaran needs even more, still 35 short of defending himself. PB and year-end in very, very similar markets. PB actually making the transition to glass right now, which I think is a fantastic decision on his part. And it's looking very much like PB might be able to clean this up.
I think so. Yep. I mean, with that freeze coming down on his food now, that's his most profitable. And his chems. Yeah, I think PB's got this one.
Yeah, 23 year-end just isn't making money right now. That hacker Ray doesn't end up getting anything done. Can't quite defend himself against the black market from the robot. And once again, Scavenger's going to fall in our second game.
Which is quite understandable. I think that Silicon did good work for PB at one point. Got him over the hump mid-game.
Absolutely. That Silicon Monopoly will do work for you, especially with warehouses on the board. Look at these glass kills at the end. 236 apiece.
Wow. That is impressive. That is good work. Yeah, that's excellent work just there.
Man, definitely concerned that Year-End didn't go after those himself. I think that would have been... Taking those two low tiles, it hurts. It definitely hurts. But I think it probably would have helped stop this train that PB had running at the end of the game, since he was benefiting so much off that high Silicon price toward the middle and the end. Yeah,
that's it. He definitely should have moved into that. Definitely. But there we go. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. I do want to point out for one moment, some people will be like, but Zoltar and Morgan, look at the chems. 96,000. That's a lot of money. I don't know if you know what you're talking about with that Silicon. PB had bought $84,000 worth of chems that game. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why the price is so high.
Yeah, $12,000 profit on that one. Not a huge profit on glass either out of PB. It was really the electronics, which were, of course, partially secured by, what was it? Oh, the Silicon.
Well, yep.
And then food also did absolutely fantastic. Year-End definitely, I think, should have been defending himself there. It is worth noting that food was a huge, huge deal. Year-End, I think, ending up with his food and his chemicals right next to each other. Huge problem that let PB run away with the game.
Yeah. Should have got his glass secured. Well, got his silicon secured so he could do his glass.
Absolutely. I think those glass furnaces could have worked out really well for Year-End. You saw that he actually transitioned them back to aluminum mines before too long. Just couldn't stay in the resource, unfortunately.
I think that was when silicon was over $100 a piece, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1v1. If you can't secure your basic resources, then you're at the mercy of the market. And if you're at the mercy of the market, the other guy will manipulate it, especially if it's PB, will manipulate it left, right, and centre, and laugh loudly and while he does it.
Absolutely. That's it. Well, okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to game number 3, best of 5 series between PB Head and Year-End. PB's taken the first 2. Quite effectively, seriously on the back of base resources, really helping him out. Year-End's going to have to establish some better primary production moving forward, I'd imagine, in order to stay in it and see if he can pull it to a game 4 and 5.
Yeah, there is a good scavenger. Well, there's some good carbon, but for scavenger, it's a long way away from things. Although there is secondary, there's medium and a low, possibly a better idea, but I don't know. Water's high, glass is high.
Well, once again, Year-End, he wants that scavenger right in the crater. No problems with that whatsoever. And PB's actually going to run expansive this game.
I think that's a fair call.
Yeah, we don't see it much, but he wanted to be on the aluminum for a variety of reasons. It's always nice to have aluminum next to you just so you can transition it later. It's also closer to the water and the silicon than being near the iron would have been. I think this is a fair decision, but glass starting very expensive. He's almost certainly going to have to get into that immediately this game, I'd say.
Yeah, but you see, I'm pretty sure, I am reasonably confident in saying, yeah, fuel is going to kill Year-End. He's uphill battle, I reckon.
I think you're absolutely right. I think this fuel is going to be a big problem for Year-End moving forward. I mean, look at this. Look at these ships go. And not just fuel, but sheer distance. Here's a whole bunch of extra build time. We can just follow these ships and watch how they're not building yet. They're still not building.
Slow.
So, are the ships going to get there first, or are the steel mills going to finish up first? Looks like the steel mills are going to win that race. So think about how much extra build time is being attached here just to fly these resources so far away.
Wow,
On top of that, I'm not even sure water was the right decision.
No, I don't think it is. You've got to question your unsettle there. It's not so good. Not so good at all.
Yeah, this was our concern about it. It's like you pointed out, good carbon. No doubt good carbon. But is it actually a good spot? Somehow, I don't think so.
It's not at all. I was about to say there's nukes on the black market as well. Nah.
That one lands on PB, knocking some of his iron down, which is going to be nice. Iron not too expensive just yet, but he won't be able to maintain 4 steel mills with just these 2 mines now.
I think he's just reminded PB that there's nukes in the black market. And no goon squads have been sold yet, so I wouldn't be surprised to see either Yeran's water or his carbon. Bye-bye. Probably water, to be honest.
So, 2 to 3 fuel a second. Does that sound like a good deal to you right now? Would you like to have that much debt in your pocket?
I would not like to have that much debt in my pocket at all.
Yeah,
God, look at it. Look at it.
Very, very painful. Yeran does make a nice move, I think, of transitioning his aluminum. He took 2 tiles of aluminum. Transitions that on into just some simple wind turbines. They're strong and moderate. That's really not bad wind locations, all things considered, but nobody wants to make glass this game. It's bothering me a little bit. Like, on the inside, it hurts.
Yeah, we got the colony there is going to be using 0.8 at the moment. Look how much everybody's going to be buying in glass. Yeah, get into glass rather than the water. I mean, water's dead now.
You bid on that claim, Year-End. Don't fear the debt. It's going to be fine. It's just close your eyes. It's just like going to college in America. Just
what?
Let it happen. It'll all be okay in the end.
PB should have left that for 24.
You think so?
Yeah, if he'd have left that, he had the game wrapped up. No question. In my mind, anyway.
Well, Year-End did manage to get to HQ3. That's going to let him put down reactors. So at least he'll have some cash to go along with his debt now.
Yeah, he might have some cash from selling his O2, but I don't think he's going to make anything. He's still going to be losing, isn't he? Is he break even at best? I mean, he's losing 2.2 fuel. Oh, there we go.
He makes a little bit. So, of course, he should be auto-selling all of this before actually buying any of it up. No doubt about that, that's what he should be doing. It does look like that is what he's doing, based on how much debt he's gaining per second right now. So that's a good call on his part. That's a lot of cash in hand.
Yeah. There's nothing here to make me change my mind, I'm afraid.
That it's a bad found location?
Yeah, Yeran's basically dead. I think he was dead from when he settled and took the 2 waters.
Yeah, I think that did definitely cause him some serious problems. This debt is going to be an issue, but PB had actually in more debt at the moment, and Year-End is holding on for the moment. I'm just concerned about how auctions are going to play out moving forward, as long as PB can keep a hold of his own debt.
Oh, how is PB in more debt than Yeran's? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, there's a special thing that happens when you don't build a whole lot of power initially, and also when you take auctions for $28,000.
Ah, that would explain it then.
Yeah, because not only if PB had let that go at 24, not only does Year-End have $24,000 more debt, but PB, of course, has $24,000 less. And we're in a very different situation, realistically, moving forward.
Yeah, I think if you haven't got any power down as well, then yeah, big trouble.
Now, a big thing to point out, we haven't been looking too much at the black market for these games. I actually consider this a very, very strong black market for a scavenger. In particular, there's no claims, that's like the weekend of it, but there are spies ready to go. And spies are just such a great tool for finding your opponent's goon squads, making sure you know exactly where your black market is going to hit and what it's going to do. Just a fantastic tool to have available for a scavenger.
Yeah, we We don't see spies getting used early on, do we? We generally see them for spying out the off-worlds later, which is a real shame. It's a real missed up. Black Magic seems to be the only person that I know that really utilises spies correctly.
I like spies. I just don't play 1v1 ever.
Even in a free-for-all, he's always got his spies out really early.
That's true. He does have his spies down super fast, making sure to keep an eye on everybody, nothing gonna sneak past him.
Which ties in, like you say, so you know where your opponent's goon squads are, so you're not wasting your black market effects.
Absolutely. Because one black market effect turned around by randoming into a goon squad, that spy definitely paid for itself avoiding that situation. Oh, very nice. I like that. PB goes for the nuke on the medium. This is high level play right here. PB goes for the nuke. Actually, I don't know if that should have landed in that Anyway, look. Nuke on the medium. It's not gonna hit though. I think Uran just messed up in a big way, however. Oh, this is really interesting. So PB nukes on the medium because of course it's better to nuke a medium than a high. Let's get that out there. Math, that's how it pans out. Math is cool, kids. You should learn it someday. Anyway, and then PB had already been nuked on his medium iron. Uran just nukes the tile again, it looks like, with the nuke that he picks up. Or possibly nukes. Yeah, I think it... Oh no, just misclicks, hits the other tile up above. Because you can nuke tiles that players have not claimed yet.
Oh yes, I see that trace. Oh dear.
That is problematic.
Just look at that, an iron shortage now. It just kicks him in the teeth, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If that nuke had landed, PB might be in some trouble as we move toward the late game. I mean, he's got a lot of other cash flowing in, but you really want to have that strong source of iron to make sure you can keep up with your steel production throughout the game.
Wow, PB's on the cusp of D levels of debt, I think. 150. Oh no, what was it? 165. Let's have a look. 151. He goes into C.
Yeah, 151 at C. We're a long ways away from an interest tick, so he has got some time to recover. But you're absolutely right. This might turn out to be quite problematic for PB.
Maybe I was doing Yerand a disservice by saying he'd lost it immediately, but I don't know. Ooh, maybe not.
That said, PB's got a lot of year-end stock secured at this point. PB just been churning that debt into cash constantly with these life support resources, and once again, silicon and glass. Turns out when warehouses are on the board, they're pretty darn good.
I don't think that there's... Oh no, he's going for a hacker array. I don't like that.
Hacker array is a fantastic tool when you're ahead to get more ahead. When you're behind, it can definitely be a little bit more difficult to use. This Pleasure Dome auction is so interesting. Much, much stronger than the Pleasure Dome from last game, it should be pointed out.
Oh, definitely. That's going to be good money, I would imagine. And
yeah, I mean, 120 for a tile's pretty solid in this game. It's not quite a farm or a glass kiln, but pretty much beats out anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all, but... Underground nuke, where did that go?
Right
onto
on
his
the
water. That's good. I quite like that.
Yerand really trying. I'm just concerned it's going to be too little too late. PB only needs about 20,000 more to clean this up. Oh, it's just looking awkward.
Actually, again, it's food, isn't it? Sorry, glass. Glass is doing very, very well. And food is doing very, very well. PB's got a lot of silicon. He's got a lot of water, and water's only $9.
100%.
There we go.
3-0 for PB in the finals. That's some strong victories right there. I do have to say, at the end, I think it might have been another situation where trying to play the market against your opponent when he has a stockpile.
Yeah.
Not quite working out. I think Yerand bought pretty heavily into water. And PB had a decent-sized, possibly stockpile going. I'm not 100% sure, but we can see water was sitting pretty consistently, I think, somewhere between like 40 and 60. Spiked up very quickly, and then crashed out right afterward. And I'm just...
I think PB was playing with it It certainly looks like that way.
Ooh, man.
Again, though, when you've got the warehouses down, you've got to get into glass and silicon.
Yeah,
No
I think
question.
so. I think that's just... Warehouses are really important buildings, guys. I don't know if you've... Oh, man. Glass is just such an interesting... Like, warehouses are my favorite thing to see when I'm a scavenger, especially because typically what that means is just HQ1, you just take the carbon and the aluminum. HQ2, bam, straight into silicon and glass. No problem.
Yeah. That's it. It's the recipe for success right there.
Yeah, that's just... I would have liked to see that, but I think with this awkward... It was great resources for HQ1 where he was, but then in HQ2 he immediately hits a problem. So it's like... It's a very tempting found location, but I think it might have been a misstep this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it because it was so far away from everything except carbon and aluminium. If you were going to go for scavenger, I mean, there was, well, a medium and a low carbon, but it wasn't ideal, but perhaps it was better than over there.
And you could just see these delays really causing problems for year-end. I mean, the expansive player hitting both HQ3 and HQ4 first, that just shouldn't happen. No,
definitely not. No, when you take scavenger, you want to be racing up, racing to your upgrades. You want to be ticking your way through and getting to 4 and 5 as quick as you possibly can. And to be outpaced by an expansive of all players is, oof.
Yeah. Especially because their upgrades are just better than yours. 1 extra claim per. Definitely, I think, contributed to that game with PB just outproducing at the end and really taking it.
Yeah, it's good with expansive because you can get your fingers in a lot of pies.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Yeran sort of hungstram himself because he didn't have a huge amount of space. And, well, yeah, it wasn't... I didn't like, again, I keep harping on, but I really didn't like the location.
Yeah, I still think the location could have been functional. I think it's just these warehouses you got to pay attention to. Now, we can check charts and graphs very quickly. So we can see that year-end, huge fuel sink. $96,000 of fuel purchased that game. Only $62,000 made. This also gave PB a really nice market to be in fuel himself. There's nothing stopping him from getting money off year-end's debt. But, yeah.
Yeah, PB made good money. He just made good money in lots of different markets. Made a bit here, a bit there.
Yeah, Iron was pretty solid with that Mars Quake in particular. Gave him a nice, strong boost. Glass did fine for PB, a good 20,000 there. We can see food a little awkward, but, you know, all that purchasing is going to debt, all this selling is going to cash, so it still works out absolutely fine for him.
Yeah. They play him with the option of selling resources first. Sell life support first.
They both should be, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's the only option that's allowed, at least at this level of play.
Yeah, it can be worrying though, can't it?